a list of stars that never ends. You're our guest in the front row. Now it's time to start the show. Branson Webcast Show, interviews with folks you know. Come along and join the fun. In our books, you're #1.
From the live entertainment capital of the world, you're listening to BransonWebcast.com with your hosts, Hamner and Barber.
It's not TV or radio, just one click, download the show. Grab some coffee, take your seat. We've got friends you'd like to meet. Branson Webcast Show, Hamner Barber, here we go. Laugh along and have some fun. It's a show for everyone.
And now, here are two guys who put the odd in podcast, Dave Hamner and Jim Barber.
Well, thank you, Craig Burnett, and welcome back to the webcast, everybody. Dave, why don't you introduce our special guest
It's
today?
my good buddy, Lex Pearson, folks. I'm so excited to have Lex on the show with us. Lex is a phenomenal magician, entertainer out here in Branson, Missouri, and we're just thrilled that we have him at the Hamner Barber Variety Show.
He is our illusion manager, stage manager. You perform in the lobby.
Performs on the stage.
On the stage.
Clean the bathrooms, yeah.
He does everything. Nobody, a lot of people may not know this about Lex because they see him working and helping us with a lot of the illusion, but Lex is a great magic mind and a great magician himself, and he performs all over the place. So we're just thrilled to have you, Lexer. So good to be
Thank you
here.
for having me. This is a great joy to you guys actually calling and asking me to come on here.
I
That's
almost
great.
believed you. Thank you. That's No, we really are glad that you're here, and you've brought something today, a little demonstration, or what?
Oh
do you
yeah,
have here?
well. I used to do a lot of say no to drug shows at schools. I think you've done a few of those.
Yes.
So Dave said, well, why don't you bring a magic trick with you and do something? I said, well, I'll try something that I haven't done in a long time. If you don't mind, just pick a card, your choice.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Just one?
fair.
All right.
Just one. Did you want two?
No, I'll
Oh,
just
okay.
take
You
the
said
one.
just
All
just
right.
one. I was wondering. I was worried that you might pick two of them. Dave, blue black. He's got a red back there. Just whichever one you want.
anyone.
Just
Okay.
anyone. I know is a big decision on your part. Now I want you to be able to identify these cards no matter what. So, Jim, I'd like you to be. Well, as a matter of fact, I'll have you sign your name on the back of the front of the 5 of diamonds, right there on the line.
I am signing my name.
And that way you can identify your card.
there, okay.
Now I want to be able to identify it in case it gets lost in the deck or something like that. So if you'd sign your name on the other side
the
as well.
back, too?
Both
Okay.
sides.
Both sides. Pay attention. You're going to be doing this as well.
I'm watching this, yes.
Okay. If you have trouble, just watch.
I'm
the
good
other.
at following directions. You tell me what to do.
Instead of signing your name, how about if you just put down a major credit card number with expiration date? You know, just sign it like Jim did his. Just put a signature on there. Good, good. Flip it over. Do the same thing right across there if you don't mind. Fair enough. Now, whenever I do the say no to drug shows, I put that away. It is a Sharpie. I don't want anybody to get hurt. Whenever I did the say no to drug shows, I like to do this in the classroom. I'm going to fold your card, Jim. No, Dave, I'm going to fold your card exactly in half.
Okay.
Just like that. Yeah. Well, I didn't get it exactly in half, but close
enough.
Good enough for who it's for. Jim, I'm going to fold your card exactly like Dave's, only differently.
Okay. Okay.
Well, it'll be down the middle, but it'll be through the back just like that. Now I'm going to lay the two of them together. That way the card 5 of diamonds will cover the 3 of hearts, and then I invert fold it just like that. Now you can see your signature on the card right there, Jim.
Right.
And you can see your signature on the card
Exactly.
right there. Now,
both sides.
Now there's good medicine and bad medicine. You know, this is what I tell the kids about. Good medicine is the kind of medicine mom or dad might give you. Bad medicine is something that a drug dealer would sell you or even give you to get you hooked. Those sort of drugs are the kind that could literally turn your brain inside out, just like your card is doing right now, Jim. Yeah, that is your signature there.
Yes, it is.
You seem bothered by that. Would you
Well-
like to push it back through, because it is your brain or your card? Yeah, you
Okay.
can push it back through just
Right.
like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Dave, you want to get in on this? It's like a seesaw, only you're just sliding back and forth.
Isn't that amazing?
That is warped.
Now, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, if you did illegal drugs, it could turn your brain inside out, and it could actually do something so bad as to kill you. Now, if you died of doing illegal drugs, in fact, you guys might think that card is in 2 pieces. Would you grab a hold of that end? Dave grabbed a hold of the other end. You can feel it's all one
It's
card.
solid.
It's one card.
But if you died doing illegal drugs, they could actually end up doing an autopsy where they cut you apart and find out what happened to your brain. As you can see, the card is folded 2 different directions. But if you unfold it, the 2 pieces will match. And the point is, always say no to illegal drugs.
Wow.
Oh, that's a great one, Lex.
I haven't done this in years, but I pulled it out just for you two.
Isn't that a great thing?
I hope you've learned your lesson.
I think I shall never
good,
do
good.
it. You know, Lex, I want to talk about you. Now, that's a good trick, and you did that so well. But we worked at the Remington Theater together. That's the first time, really, we were on stage together.
Yeah.
And at the Remington Theater, you reprised or came up with this character called the UPS Man.
Yeah, actually, the characters that I did there, the jokes. In fact, I threw the script out. Gary Willett, the late Gary Willett, that produced World's Greatest Magic.
You threw out both those jokes?
Oh. Well, Gary was a genius.
Yes,
was a genius, but his jokes did not fit my persona.
Not the UPS Man.
And Dave would go by the script every night. And I would throw a different joke at him each night. Sorry, I'm late. I got held up at the hospital. And he'd go, "Oh, really?" And he had no clue where it was going. The bit might take 5 minutes. I think once or twice we probably went 10 or 12 minutes during this bit. And Gary'd be pulling his hair out, going, "Okay, we're going over time." But the audience is laughing.
The audience would laugh. And some of those things way back at the Remington, which was 8 years ago now, Lex, we, in our Christmas show, we bring back the UPS Man for one bit, and we still use some of those bits and that worked. And
Lex is the UPS Man, and he drives a UPS truck. But it's more of it's not UPS, it's more of a oops. It's like really tiny.
It's a tiny UPS like go-kart, but we don't know how he gets into this thing.
I don't know how he gets into it, yeah.
Well, I actually built that whenever I was about 18, 19 years old. During the off season, I worked as a tractor mechanic, and that entire car, little tiny car, was built from junk. I mean, literally, the door to that car was a realtor sign in my front yard. After I bought this house, I took the realtor sign. They didn't come and get it, so I took it and made it into a door for a car. And at any rate, you see it on stage every.
That's a test of a true artist.
To imagine Lex climbing out of this car, it's kind of like when you take one of those tubes of muffin dough in your refrigerator and you break it open and the dough kind of comes oozing out. That's kind of what it
oozes
looks like.
out of the truck.
I don't know that I appreciate that scenario.
Well, there's a lot of other things that come along as you come out, but it's such a fun character that you've developed. And then also you've come up with some really unique moves on a gag that probably goes way back to vaudeville, where you get up somebody out of the audience and you kind of brought it up to date, this whole concept.
Well, that original gag, or I don't know who came up with it originally, but the first time I saw it was the late Lou Jacobs, master clown for Barnum and Bailey. In fact, he was the first clown to have his face on a postage stamp and all that. And I made a living
This
as a
stamp
clown.
tastes funny.
Yes. I made a living as a clown for, 8 years. And then I signed on with Jim Stafford in '93 and was with him for 5 years. And I quit clowning at that point. I didn't really quit. I just was too busy to do it. But anyway, I was with Jim, and a lot of the clown persona, you can still see in the UPS Man that I do.
And sometimes we can even see it on stage every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
I never know what to expect from Lex out there. You might walk into something you never exactly know what to expect. But Lex not only is a great entertainer and a great personality on the stage, but he also is our illusion manager and has built several of our pieces in the show, not just in this show, but also in the Christmas show. And he doesn't know this, but he's going to be working on a new big production that we're working on coming up this year. So he's going to be very busy in the workshop.
Well, tell us all about it, Dave.
I don't know if we can go into it right now on the webcast, but we're going to be doing some really unique things. And Lex is an excellent artisan. He welds, he works with wood. And like our quiz show, our game show, you built that. You built the Made in Japan illusion that we use in the Christmas show. Our sub-trunk.
Your Elephant Vanish.
The Elephant Vanish. And we still have that. One of these days we're going to bring the elephant back.
It wouldn't even fit in my shop when I was building it. My neighbors were like, "What are you doing? Here's this gigantic illusion in the front driveway because it wouldn't fit in the shop. So,
and it worked.
It worked. It was great.
That elephant would vanish that quick.
It was gone.
Yeah, it was a great thing. Also, Lex, you entertain out here. If everyone wants to see Lex, they can come to the Hamner Barber Show at approximately 7 o'clock any night. He's in the lobby doing close-up magic.
Well, except Sundays. Okay. Sundays, we have a matinee. By 7, we're usually gone. So I'm out here about 2 o'clock. There you go. 2 o'clock
on Sundays. So you get to meet Lex close up and personal. And Lex is real good working with the young people. If they want to purchase one of the magical tricks, he's able to train them and show them and work with them.
Even if you're looking for something for your grandkids, I'll teach your grandparents. In fact, last night, I didn't teach any kids any tricks. It was all grandparents. It was just right across the lobby from here, and I have fun teaching anyone, whether it's kids or the adults. But especially whenever it's something like with meaning that it has a message to it. That's always fun.
Exactly.
That's always fun.
And you have a special spot in your heart for kids because you're a dad and you have 2 young children who
just turned 1-year-old last week and 2 years old on Sunday. They were born 361 days apart.
Wow.
Yeah, my first child at 40 years old. Yeah.
But that's a blessing.
Oh,
the folks out here don't know. It was a difficult process.
Yeah.
And
really
we
was.
got to admit, the Lord was very good, wasn't he, Lex?
We've been married 12 years, and my wife's a school principal. We wanted kids, and we were finally blessed twice in less than a year.
Yeah. And they're beautiful kids, and just
very
look
active.
just like me,
Very active, and of course, the kids are probably going to be somewhat in magic or something. We think, right?
I don't care what they decide. Well, I do care what they want to do. I just want to be supportive. The wonderful thing about magic is you cannot name any type of art or anything that you cannot utilize in the use of magic, whether it's welding, whether it's painting, music, whatever. That's the wonderful creative part of being involved in a show like this, is you can name off anything and you can utilize it in magic. There's no way that you can not utilize something in magic. You might be stretching it, but it's a great creative process.
I don't think there's a magician out here in Branson that hasn't had Lex Pearson either build them a prop or work on their stage, their rigging. You're an excellent expert rigger also.
Yeah, one of, I think, maybe 6 certified riggers in Branson. Done rigging in Vegas and that sort of thing. A lot of times people think that the theaters, they just, some guy just hangs something there, but I had to go to school to learn that. But I actually started rigging, and get this, right out of high school in the oil field. And
that's some real rigs.
Oh yeah. One of the oil rigs I was on, TRG 201, actually had over 1 million pounds of pulling capacity.
Wow.
So I've been around. I've done a lot of odd jobs, but I lasted about 3 months there. And oil field was not for me.
Bring me the birthday party, kid. Yeah.
So you know what, Lex? We got to talk about this too. Do you still work sometimes down at the Branson Landing?
No. With 2 kids, there is no way of having time to do that. Gary Bartlett, who actually I saw him on here not too long ago, runs all the street acts down there. He's a very creative talent himself, but I haven't been able to cut loose. I still do a few schools. I'm doing Branson schools here, I think this week or next week, something like that. But a lot of my time is spent, building stuff for you and actually other shows, special effects for other shows, and not just here, but I still ship off a few things.
You still work a lot with Jim Stafford. You used to work with the Duttons. You have worked with Kirby Van Birch and a lot of the other magicians that are in. Darren Romeo, you've done stuff for him, and Taylor Reed and Justin
Flom. I'm doing a lot of stuff this year. I did a lot of stuff for Haygoods the past 2 years. A lot of their special effects, whether it's air cannons or something like that, or just plain rigging, having things flying in and out and that sort of stuff.
I remember when we were in California for a while, we were away from you for a couple of years, year and a half or something. If I ever wanted to know anything about Branson, I would call Lex Pearson because he was the voice of Branson.
Telephone, telegraph, and telex. Yeah, right.
He knew everything. But it's the fact that you love this community, Lex, and you have dug in here and everybody loves you, and it's a wonderful place.
Well, I was raised here, not here, but just north of here. We used to play Branson in football and basketball and everything else. Of course, I graduated Ash Grove High School, just north of here. And of course, Branson is so much larger than Ash Grove. They're in, I think, 2 leagues above what Ash Grove is. But we would come down here every summer. Matter of fact, Table Rock Lake, that's where I learned not to drown at. Well, no, I mean, you don't learn to swim right away.
Yes,
you learn not to drown, but
right.
that's where I kind of learned not to drown
That's
at,
good,
and
yeah.
then worked my way on up to that swimming part. But yeah, we'd come down here. My grandparents were down here in Taney County. My in-laws live here. So I'm very attached to the area. Matter of fact, whenever 60 Minutes aired their special back in, I think it was 90, me and Blake and Angela Walker, another magician, we had rented a theater here in town over the winter just to rehearse. Because I was doing road shows. This was way before Jim Stafford, whenever I went to work for him. We rented a theater. We're just rehearsing it, started putting on shows, and 60 Minutes aired their special. Mm-hmm. We were the only show open in town. And, you know, we were rehearsing to 20, 30 people, just having fun to do our shows for the next year on the road. 60 Minutes aired. Next show, we had 300. Show after that, we had 400. Show after that, the owner of the theater came in and said, I don't know what's going on here, but I've got a band, and we're putting it into your show, so you guys are out the door. Because he was renting the theater so cheap to us. But we were right there at the start of the boom of Branson, whenever it really took off.
And this is back at the Thunderbird Theater? Was it down?
No, actually, that was
Owen Theater?
No, that was actually at the Grand Country Theater. Is where we were doing that at, and we were just taking advantage of, instead of renting a warehouse to rehearse our new show for the following year for the road, we just rented a theater, and
suddenly the people started coming, and he said, I better put a big music show in here.
Big music show in, yeah. So,
well, we're thrilled to have you on our team, and thanks for being on the webcast with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Lots of good things in the future.
Yes.
Can I keep the cup? These are nice. I like those.
No.
Oh,
But you could make your own.
Oh,
You could turn one of those into wood. You can see Lex Pearson anytime at the Hamner Barber Theater, so come on over and check out our good buddy Lex.
You've been listening to BransonWebcast.com with your hosts Dave Hamner and Jim Barber. Join us next time for more interviews, music, and fun from Branson, Missouri.
Y'all come back and hear us soon. Hope you liked our little tune. Next time on the internet, we'll have new friends you haven't met. Branson Webcast Show, spread the word to all you know. On the web and having fun, it's the show for everyone.
This is your announcer, Craig Burnett, saying thanks for joining us, and come back real soon for more fun at BransonWebcast.com.